Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Elisa, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, I know why. Lisa, hello there. Hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome. So we're just a couple minutes early, but I just wanted to say welcome. And I think more people, like 50 people or so, have signed up. So hopefully you all can come show up live. But if not, I am recording this, so you'll get a recording afterwards.
Nice.
So let's see. So I see Kelly, I see Tina, and we'll give it another. So Elisa, thank you for doing this with me. And I wanted to just announce that Elisa is working with me as we're launching MiloTree Easy Payments. And she's helping me with marketing, which is it's really fun working together. And what is also cool is Elisa has been going through the whole process, setting up her own workshops. So we're going to be talking about that today. So I want to start on time because we've got a lot to cover. And let's see, I've got one more minute and then we will launch in. But the whole goal of this today is to explain that building businesses on the internet can be tricky. It's not, when you see stuff on the internet, at least I'm sure you know, and all of you know, you see like people like, oh my God, it's like like I just tried this thing and it worked and $1 million flew through the window. And I'm making all this money hand over fist. And what people aren't telling you is that to get there, it took a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we all want to believe these stories that it's so easy to build businesses on the internet. But the truth is, it takes a lot of trial and error. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We noticed you guys paid $10 to come here. And I did that on purpose because I wanted you to have skin in the game, even $10. Chances are you show up differently when you've put some money on the table. So therefore, for you guys, I recommend hosting your own paid workshops because you want your participants to have skin in the game. But this is a fantastic way of doing this is also like hosting your own workshop is a great marketing tool because the goal is to get somebody in, to give them a win and have them have a good experience so they want to buy from you again because they get to test you out and see, like, is she my girl? Like all of you right now, I think are girls, so I can say that. But that's really the hope. So when I say set up a paid workshop, assume your first workshop's not going to make you rich, but your first workshop is going to get you close to your audience so that you can hear what they say. And oops, I think here is a man. Welcoming, coming into the group. Anyway, hello, Neil, welcome. So I'm just letting people in. In fact, I'm going to probably turn this
here
over.
Jillian, I just wanted to say that that last Facebook update, there are a couple people who say they can't find the workshop or they've paid but can't find the link. What can I tell them?
Here, let me give you the link and will you, Elisa, I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. And then Elisa, will you share it so people can?
Of course.
Okay, hold on. Let's admit these people.
Neil Schaefer's going to be on my show tomorrow. I'm excited to see him here.
So there is the link. Elisa, do you mind sharing that in the Facebook group? Okay.
I got it.
So 2 things I need to go over. One is this concept of B- work. And B- work means it's above average work, but this is what I want you to shoot for. Do not shoot for A or A+ work or even A- work. We are talking about you want to do stuff that gets you moving forward and it's not perfect. And I want you to be slightly embarrassed. So if you're doing slightly embarrassing work, you're doing it right because slightly embarrassing work gets you moving forward. And then the second thing that I want to share before we launch in is this idea that you, and I've said this before, if you listen to my podcast, you are a minor mining for gold and you don't know where the gold is. So you're going to get your pickaxe out. You're going to put on some jeans and some, like, you're not going to get dressed in like good mining clothes. I'm talking ripped jeans and a ripped t-shirt, and you're going up into the hills and you're mining for gold. And what you're looking for as you mine are gold specks, because typically if you can find gold specks, you can find that will lead you to bigger pieces of gold and bigger pieces of gold. And if you don't find gold or gold specks, that's fine. You're going to move over a little bit. You're going to go into a different hill, like you're going to climb a different hill, and you're going to keep mining. And what I mean by this is we have a hypothesis in our mind. So all of you, I've noticed in the emails I was sending, I'm like, what could you be teaching in your workshop? And you're going to come up with a hypothesis and you're going to go, hey, my audience likes sewing or painting, Elisa. So I think they want to, learn painting from me. And you might put it out there, and turns out nobody wants to learn painting from you, or doing like paintings, but maybe they want to paint furniture, but you didn't even know this. So you're going to test stuff. And what we are doing today is talking about how to do B- work and test quickly so that you can find gold. And it might take a while, but that's the point. So when people go, oh my God, this is where somebody goes and they say, I'm going to create a course, and they go off for 6 months and they work so hard and they make all these videos and all these PDFs. They finish the course, they go to sell it, crickets. This is the exact opposite. This is what I want to share, is how to not do that, how to get stuff up that's slightly embarrassing, listen to your audience, test and test again and again. Okay. So, and Elisa, do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, I'll just say that I have no ego here, and I will tell you what happened with my first workshop as we go along.
I love that. Okay. So I am going to share my screen because I want to launch in. So let's do this. Okay, let's hope this works. Can you guys?
I can see it.
You can see it. Great. But now where is my version? Right, but I have my own version. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. We're going to learn how to do this quickly. So you are in the right place. If you want to get paid for your knowledge, instead of just putting out lots of free content, I say do put out free content to attract your audience to you. But then it's time to monetize that content, because chances are you know a lot about a lot of things. If you want to get closer to your audience so you can hear what they're saying, understand their problems more deeply, this is the workshop for you. If you want to build a new income stream, you're in the right place. And if you are not wanting to deal with complicated technology, you're in the right place. And I will tell you this, I share this with Elisa all the time.
Oh, darling, I'm on a workshop.
Ooh, can somebody mute? Can you mute? Let's see. Okay. Technology is much more complicated than we all like to admit. They're like, Elisa and I both on the same day, I told her that I had recorded a video and none of the, like, I got to the end and none of my sound was recorded. And I shared this with Elisa and I wanted to die. And Elisa, what did you share with me?
I did the exact same thing. I did. And then the very next day, I recorded it with Canvas Present and Record, and something blew up and I lost the whole thing again.
Absolutely. So when this happens to you, know you're not alone. Like, I'm married to David, who is the best technologist in the world. And we say to each other, our mantra is technology is hard. So I want to show you a solution that is not hard. And we'll go through and then you can, just know when you sit there and send yourself 6 password resets, you are not alone. Okay. That happened to me a couple of days ago. All right. So the big picture, and and this is one thing I need to tell you. This is a super meta workshop. And what I mean is everything I'm doing to teach you how to do a paid workshop, I'm hoping you do. So all the slides that I'm using, I have a template for you that looks exactly like this for you to put your own information in. So for example, I have a slide that says you're in the right place. And then my next slide is the big picture. And I want you to do this for your workshop too. What is the big picture? Well, this is what I want you to know. If you have an audience, your super fans want to pay you. They want to get close to you. But again, you're a miner and you're mining for gold. So what you think is going to work for you, I hope it does initially, but it might take 5 iterations. So I want to teach you how to do less, how to move quickly, and how to do B- work, because chances are, if you can find gold specs, you can find gold. Okay. What are you going to leave with? Because this is really important when you're doing your workshop. You want to give your people a win. You want to help them on their journey. At the end of this, I want you to be able to set up a workshop in an hour. And you're like, oh my God, Jillian and Elisa, they just showed me how to do this. I'm going to leave you with a PDF checklist that looks just like this. We'll get into this, where you can just follow this and go, oh, okay, I know exactly how to do this. I'm going to give you the email templates so you know what emails to send. And again, as I mentioned, I'm going to give you the Canva presentation that looks just like this. So you go, okay, here's where I fill in the what you will leave with section. I'm also going to show you how MiloTree Easy Payments, which is our new payment solution, fits into this perfectly with so little tech. And hopefully I leave you with a sense of confidence. But I don't want to say, oh my God, you're going to leave here, you're going to start your first workshop and $1 million is going to fly through the windows, because it's not. It takes more work than that. Okay, let's talk about the agenda. So this is what I wanted to help you guys with. When you're teaching a workshop, I recommend at most 3 different itty bitty topics to cover. That's it in your hour. You don't want to overwhelm your people. So here are the topics I'm going to teach you. 1, what to teach. This is so meta. 2, how to set it up. And 3, what your workshop will look like and beyond. Now, hopefully, Elisa and I do a good enough job. By the way, notice Elisa and I, this is our B- work. I had so many things went wrong with my email service provider. Neil emailed me, thank goodness, yesterday to tell me that my Google Save Calendar thing wasn't working. Like, it was not pretty over here. So just know that it kind of looks a little messy, but hopefully you forgive me for things that I do that don't go well or whatever. Like I was going to say, we're making it up here. We're not, but know that this is our B- work. Okay, so let's dig into the first of the 3 topics. Like, I want you to think about your what you want to be teaching. And wait. When you're thinking about your workshop topic, think about it this way. What is a broad enough topic that could attract lots of people to you, but something specific enough that somebody could say, oh, I've got a problem with that. I need that. And then you've got 3 techniques, the 3 topics that break it down. So what I wanted to actually do with Elisa is, we talked about this before we got on. And I said to Elisa is an artist. And so I said to Elisa, let's go through this and walk through how you would be setting up your workshop to teach people how to paint. So Elisa, what kind of painter are you, and what kind of workshop could you see yourself teaching?
I do fluid art. So it's a lot of paint pouring, paint with mediums. There are a bunch of different techniques, but one that I particularly enjoy is the Dutch pour technique, or air swipe. So I thought I could teach that
In an hour.
Yeah.
So when I said to you, okay, what 3 topics when it comes to your Dutch pour technique, what would they be?
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my my landing page. So it's gonna be okay, you need like the 1 hour workshop. It's gonna have demonstration of ratios, consistencies, and techniques, supplies list, with tips on how to do this without spending all of your money. Yeah, and then there's a recording that goes with it. But basically, it's the demonstration will show you the ratio, consistencies, and techniques to make a good Dutch pour.
Perfect. Okay, so that's how I want you to think about your workshop. What is something people would want to know? Chances are this is a pretty, like if you're into fluid art, this is a pretty popular technique. Am I right?
Yeah, it is. But I think Dutch pour is not quite as well known as like a flip cup and all that. So that's kind of why I landed on that. Plus, I can pretty reliably do a good Dutch pour. And the others are, you never know.
Perfect. So, okay, what is your main topic? Break it down and be more basic than you think. You know a lot, but step backward. These are people who are coming to you who really don't know a lot. So how can you come up with your 3 topics? So let's dig in now to topic 1 for me. Okay, so lean into your expertise. And this is, and again, notice you are an expert, but I want to say it this way. You are an expert with a small e, not a capital E, because people go, oh no, but I'm really not an expert. And I say, you do not need a PhD in whatever you are teaching. You need to be 1 to 2 steps ahead. And in fact, that's a benefit because you understand where your audience is coming from. You want to be able to know, oh, I was just there and I had these issues. So I want to talk about these issues and getting through those issues and how you succeeded. So again, pick a topic that's popular and specific, like that somebody who sees your sales page goes, oh yeah, I struggle with that, versus I know what it is and I'm not necessarily using language that you understand, but somehow you're going to buy my thing. No, it's got to be like, does somebody understand exactly what this is? And then you're going to have your 3 concepts, basic concepts, and finally 1 tangible win, which is you're going to see at the end of this, I'm going to give you a whole host of things, including this checklist where you go, oh my God, I could do this. I could set this up. I want to push you forward. So at the end of this, you go, wow, Jillian and Elisa, they helped me move forward on my journey. It's not just abstract, it is real. So Elisa, what would your tangible win be for your audience?
Yeah, this one was kind of fun, right? It's like getting beyond the benefits getting beyond the features to the benefits of it. And for me, it was that they'll be able to kind of tap into the artist that's within, and everyone feels like, oh, I'm not an artist. And I feel that way too, but we all have that. So how do you tap into that in a way that's not scary, right? It's very approachable. They'll be able to create a beautiful painting to keep, sell, or give as a gift by the end. And like the main overall goal in my mind is to find a new and relaxing hobby.
Got it. And aren't they also going to get a list of supplies?
Oh yeah, that's as far as like features, yeah, they get a workshop, demonstration, supplies list, and the recording.
So after they finish your workshop, they could go to Amazon, buy everything they need.
Yep.
Rewatch your video again if they want to do it, and create something.
Yeah.
So you push them forward.
Yeah, and I think what's really key about the choice that I made here is I'm not planning to teach people how to do all fluid art techniques, right? This, as you said, is a way to kind of test out what people want and what formatting works and what doesn't, with something small.
I love that. I love that. So think small, think basic, think win. All right, so let's now ready. I'm going on to my second technique. And by the way, we're going to do Q&A at the end. So please, you can either put your questions in the chat, and maybe Elisa, you can keep an eye on that. And we will answer everything. Okay, to set this up, set up your workshop, you need your date, your time, and your pricing. This, I believe, is a great way to market what you do. So I recommend setting your first workshop somewhere around $10 to $30. Again, this is not the workshop that's going to bring in $1 million. I hope it does. But again, if you can deliver your people will buy from you again. It was so interesting because the people who signed up for the workshop, so many of them I know, so many of them have been in workshops with me. You know me, you know what I provide, and you're buying from me again. It wasn't hard to put down $10 on somebody you knew versus somebody you don't. Think about it that way. So you want to price it low, but price it because people value stuff they pay for. How many free things do you get emails of? And you're like, yeah, I'll sign up, and you never show up. And then you're like, yeah, I'll watch the replay, and you never watch the replay. Like that, I am guilty of that because I weirdly think I'm like working on my business when I'm doing that. And then of course I never get there. Okay. All you need now for your paid workshop are 3 pieces of technology. One is Zoom, a paid Zoom account, because I think a free account last I checked is only like 45 minutes. It's like $15 for a paid Zoom account. 2, you need an email service provider, whether that be MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit, any of those. Now, personally, if you don't have one, I recommend MailerLite. For this, I used ActiveCampaign, and I find it, I want to pull my hair out. So I also use MailerLite. I wish we had set MiloTree up with MailerLite at the beginning, but we didn't. But anyway, that's what I recommend. But the reason you want an email service provider is, notice I've been sending you emails. Hopefully you've been getting them. Hopefully it's been working. But that's the way that you get to be in touch with your people. Sure, you can have a private Facebook group. That's great. But the way that you can directly contact people is through email. And you're going to see why this matters. And then the third piece of technology is a free MiloTree Easy Payments account. And the reason why I say it's free is because we set this up, David and I, that we only make money when you make money. You're not paying a monthly fee. We want to be aligned with you on your side. So I just want to kind of briefly show you what that looks like, because again, technology is hard. So David and I set out to do something easy. So you're going to set up, and I sent an email about this. I don't know if any of you have set up a MiloTree Easy Payments account yet, but I'm just going to walk you through how easy it is. All right. So this is our MiloTree. So all you're going to do is head to milotree.com/easy payments. This is our cute little website. And you're going to press start now. And then you're going to fill in your email address, your name, and a password. And you're going to end up on a page that looks like this. And all you're going to do to set up an Easy Payments account, remember, you're not going to pay for this. So do it, like set it up today.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We're still seeing the slide. Is that what you want?
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Nope. This is, I'm, all right. I stop sharing here. I share here. Great. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back.
And that's the fun about like doing a live workshop like that. It does not have to be perfect. People don't expect it to be perfect, and they're very forgiving.
I love that. Yes. And this is where, again, if you guys are thinking about creating a course, and Elisa and I recorded a podcast episode about this, if I had done that in a course recording and be like, oh my God, I got to go re-record it, you're not going to be as forgiving if you're watching a video. But in a live workshop, guess what? Like technology fails, or I forgot to share the screen. And so notice that, like, weirdly, we show up more human when we do it live than when it's on video. Okay, this is MiloTree Easy Payments. Notice the URL is milotree.com/easy payments. And let me just set this up. Okay. And all you're going to do is you're going to press start now right here. And you're going to, as I said, add your name, an email address, and a password. And then you're going to end up on a screen that looks like this. And there are literally 3 steps to set it up. 1, you are going to, as it says here, create or connect a Stripe account. Stripe is the best in class credit card processor. Setting up a Stripe account, though, is like setting up a bank account. Like, they need to make sure you're not a money launderer. Therefore, you are going to have to add things like your social security number and your address and information about your business. And your like check information. It's just like PayPal, because they're going to, when you get paid, they are going to deposit it directly into your checking account. Therefore, it's, you know, it's literally like setting up a Wells Fargo account. And I even put together a video to show you how to set up a Stripe account. So you're going to leave MiloTree, go to Stripe, and you might already have a Stripe account. This will then kind of put a payment, like a second payment under your umbrella Stripe account. And then after you finish that, you're going to come back to MiloTree and you're going to connect your email service provider. So we integrate with all the major email service providers. As I said, MailChimp, ConvertKit, MailerLite, blah, blah, blah. And this is because one thing that we wanted was your MiloTree Easy Payments account to connect directly to your email service provider without you having to use a service like Kajabi or Podia or something like that, where it has email. But then we've discovered, Elisa and I, in a lot of our research, that people ultimately want to use their own email service provider. So this is what we do. And we tag them for you so that you can contact them. And then the next,
I just want to say
Go ahead.
about Stripe too, that the connecting to Stripe is the most complicated part of this, but it's still not that complicated. It's also free. And if you run a business where you're billing for services, you want a Stripe account anyway. It has made my consulting business billing so easy. So Stripe's awesome.
I love that. Okay. And then what you're going to do is, it says here, step 3, create your first payment link. Here's where you add your payment information, like your workshop. So I'm going to go here. This, by the way, is my own personal MiloTree Easy Payments dashboard page. And I have created different products. You can see. So what's great about it is, like, if you scroll down, so these are all the things I've created. This is my setup, my paid workshop in 60 minutes or less. So this is the product that you guys purchased from me. However, I also have put my half-hour coaching call product in here. I have my membership product in here with 2 different prices. I have my MiloTree Blog Start, where we help people start blogs, and I put those prices in here. And once I put a product into MiloTree Easy Payments, I get 2 things. One, I'm going to get, so let's go back to what you guys signed up for, which is right here. I've got a payment link, right? Which you saw when you paid. Here, let me show you, which if I take this and I copy the link right here, copy money button link, and I click it, it looks like this. This is what you guys paid with. But then what I think is even cooler is you can create your own free, hosted by us, sales page for whatever product, service, membership you are creating. And you saw that right here, right? And so Elisa, and by the way, so I'm going to show you very quickly how you do this. You're on your dashboard. By the way, here are my customers that are listed down here, but I create a money button, which is really a product. And this is where I put my product name and my price, and it could be a membership. It could be a one-time thing. It could be recurring. I'm telling my email service provider where I want you to send that email and what tag to give it. And I've got myself a product. But then if I want to create a sales page, you can do this right here. It says create a sales page for this product. This is what I did. And I've got you get to have your own personal permalink right here. So that people, so let's say it'd be like Elisa's Painting Club or Elisa's Pouring Art, whatever. And you've got your own URL. You get to pick a cool theme. We've got some themes. And then the best part is we lead you through setting up your own sales page. So Elisa, would you talk about what this has been like for you using our sales page creator? And I'm going to stop sharing for a second.
Yeah, I tried several different methods because we had several to offer. And the page builder was by far the easiest one. Another thing I love about the page builder is that it guides you through it. So you saw that briefly on that page. It would say put this here and put that there. I love a formula like that, that you can just fill it in and it will really help you to create a good landing page. Something I did for one of my workshops was created it in the builder, and then I wanted it kind of on my site. So I just copied and pasted all that text. It's just very flexible, but I liked starting with the page builder because it helps you know what to put in there.
We set this up so that you are focused on the solution for your customer. A lot of times when we are creating products, we see it from our perspective. And what's great about the sales page builder is it's what is your customer, what is their most desired result? Not what do I want to provide for them? What do they want for themselves? And how can I help them solve it? So you share things like, you know, what are you solving for? What is their challenge? What are the benefits, which are different than the specifics? The benefits are, what are you going to, how is this going to make your life better? Oops, wait, hold on. I'm going to, how is this going to make your life better as my customer? And then what are the specifics of what I'm going to get? So you can kind of go back if you want to see what we set up here that got you to pay. And notice, by the way, it is basic. Because I want you, remember, I'm saying go test this. You're digging for gold. Use the sales page creator to try different things. So make 5 different sales pages with 5 different messages, or send them to different types of audiences and see what works. This is the whole beauty of MiloTree Easy Payments. I just want you to go and iterate and try new things. Okay, so let's go back. Wait, can you guys see, what do you see right now? I don't think you see the
your
right
slides and
but it's not in. Okay, see, look at this. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to share again. Here we go in the audience view. All right, so honestly, no reason not to set up a MiloTree Easy Payments account. And you can use it. Say you want to try coaching, go put a payment link in, go make a a money button link, go make a sales page. You want to do a membership, run it through MiloTree Easy Payments. Like what I've noticed for myself in my own product, somebody said to me, can we do a half-hour coaching call? And I was like, all right, and then usually it's like, oh, I got to send them like a PayPal invoice. And I just went into MiloTree Easy Payments, created a button, a link, and sent it to her, and boom, she paid me. And then she ends up directly into my email service provider. So that is MiloTree Easy Payments in a nutshell. We can answer any questions later, but let's move on to another piece of the puzzle that has technology in it that is important. And this is your email prep. So the first thing, and this is going to be in the checklist, is for you in your email service provider to set up a welcome email after they purchase. Remember, we're tagging them with a tag that you've created. You create an automation. So as soon as that person purchases and is tagged, an email gets sent that says, welcome to my workshop. And it's going to say the date and the time and the Zoom link and anything else they need, whether it be join the private Facebook group or here's something to think about. You can go back to the emails I sent you and notice I've got those elements. Plus, I'm going to be giving you a swipe file of all these emails to send. So the first thing you want to do, set up your welcome email. Then you want to remind people, say a day before, the day of, an hour before. I think I sent an email 5 minutes before, just to get people to know that they need to show up. I even put a Google button to add it to your Google Calendar and messed that up, but then I hopefully did correct it. And then afterwards, you want to send them that wrap up email where I'm going to deliver you a bunch of goodies, and ready for it, I'm going to sell you my next offer. I'm going to do another workshop, but you've already bought from me. Hopefully you've liked this. Hopefully you've gotten stuff out of it. So guess what? I'm moving you up my ladder. And eventually I might start a membership where I then sell. I'm thinking of creating a membership for people who want to create memberships. I know it's so meta, but what would that be? So for Elisa, if you were to start a painting membership, what would it be?
Oh, it would probably be something like once a week we paint together and try a new technique.
I love that. And could you think of another workshop beyond after you did the pour technique? Like, would you be more
Yeah.
apt to want to sell people into another workshop, sell people into a membership?
Mm, I personally would probably do another workshop for another technique and see if that kind of demand for one translates into another before I kind of build on that assumption that people want all the techniques.
Now, what if somebody said to you, hey, Elisa, like, hey, could we like do a coaching call to talk about painting? I'm feeling really stuck.
Oh, sure. I send them an easy mileage free easy payments link and we set it up.
Okay, terrific. So that's the power of this, of what we're teaching. So the next piece is after you've got your email set up, I recommend a tangible takeaway, and maybe even a special bonus. So this is where you go into Canva and you create a PDF checklist. Ready for it? Here we go. This my designer actually made, but it is a PDF checklist because I want you to have something concrete where you just go through this and go, I could set this up. I give you the emails. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to share this presentation deck so you can fill this in. Like, I want to set you up for success. And there's also like, you're going to wait for it. There's going to be even another special bonus on top of it so that you go, whoa, Jillian's really giving me some value. Okay. So then now let's talk about the workshop and beyond. You want to paint a picture for people. You want to explain the why. Why? So Elisa, you were talking about, you want to give people a sense of something beautiful in their lives that gives them calm, that makes them feel creative. That's why you're showing up for them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show up for you guys to say, creating new income streams is not easy, but it's doable if you're willing to be embarrassed, put it out there, listen to your audience, and iterate. And I want to give you those tools. I do not want to say, go away now for 6 months and noodle on this and think about it and record videos where the sound doesn't work and all that. I want to go get this up this week, like get moving, because all you're going to do is test it. And by the way, you're not paying MiloTree easy payments unless you make sales. So go for it, like try. So when you're setting up your workshop, it's not just teaching, it's painting the picture, the big picture, you're sharing the agenda. Here's what I don't know if you guys have kids, but like, I know when my daughter was little, what worked for her really well in the morning was we woke up and I said, okay, here's what the day is going to look like. And we're going to go to the park and then we're going to come home and have a snack. And then it's nap time. And then it's TV time. And then it's dinner time or lunch and bath time. And it gave her a sense of what it's going to look like. And it was and then 5 minutes before each one, I'd go, okay, we're going to get ready now because it's almost lunchtime. So that's what you want to do. You want to lead people through this journey and you want to say, here's what you're going to leave with. I want you to leave with, go set up your own workshop and make it rough and do it. Okay. So I recommend you keep it to a tight hour, but you stay for Q&A. That you show up for your people. And again, as I've said now multiple times, make sure you leave them with a tangible win so that they go, that was worth my time, rather than, whenever I have a guest on my podcast, the Blogger Genius podcast, I say to them, like, my audience doesn't respond to platitudes. Like, you got this, woo, whoa, like side hustle. No. I want you to go, this is what works. Here's how to walk through this. So just think about that, concrete wins. Okay. So this is important and you're going to get this. Are you seeing this, the wrap up email? Am I doing this right? Okay. This is where you tie it up. It's like after the end of the busy day with my daughter when she's 4 and we get in bed and we do story time and we talk about the day. And so this is what I will be doing for you guys later today. You'll get a link to the session. You will get the checklist. I will remind you that you can do this. And, you'll have all of the materials, and I'm going to talk about my next offer in the email. Like, hey, if you liked this, come join me for another one. And you can offer, the great thing about MiloTree Easy Payments is you can make different payment. You can have the same product, but have different prices. So you can offer your people like a special price if they sign up again. You want to get them on your ladder, and you want them to continue to want to move up it with you. Okay. So as I talked about, I'm giving you tangible takeaways. I want you to succeed at this. I want you to succeed at this because I feel like my biggest purpose is to inspire you. That's why I do my podcast. That's why we build these products. And check it out. The more successful you are, the more successful I am. So it's like this win-win. And so here are my takeaways, just so you see what they're going to look like. You've got the checklist. You're going to get a swipe file of all the emails to send. You're going to get this deck workshop for you to fill out. You got an intro to how easy it is to set up MiloTree Easy Payments. And as Elisa said, the hardest part is Stripe, but think about it as setting up a Wells Fargo account or a PayPal account, and they are trustworthy and they are best in class. And ready for it? Here is my special bonus for you. If you email me your workshop idea, plus what 3 small basic teaching concepts you want to teach, and what your one win is, I will happily give you personal feedback, because I would love to know what you're thinking. And it was interesting because yesterday somebody emailed me with her idea of what she could teach. And it was like, in her mind, it made perfect sense. But if you were coming to it cold, it was like, wait, what is this? Like she had a definition of like how to live a good life. But I said, can it be more specific? Like, could it be affirmations? Could it be like 5-minute meditation? Like, what specific thing could it be? So if you do this and email it to Jillian@milotree.com, I would happily give you feedback on this. So just to sum it up, do not let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Go be embarrassed, like really. And it's hard, especially most of you are women. It's hard for us to do this, but know that we judge ourselves so harshly, and nobody's really judging us or thinking, to be honest, we're all thinking about ourselves. So nobody has time to be really thinking about you and judging you. So please don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Learn from your audience. You better believe, you guys, I want you to give me feedback. I want you to tell me what worked and what didn't about this workshop, so that I can learn and I can serve better. And you better believe Elisa and I afterwards are going to powwow and go, okay, what was good? How could we have improved that? Blah, blah, blah. But listen to your audience, because a lot of times you use your own jargon and they're using different jargon to potentially define the same problem. And my recommendation is always use their jargon, use their words, because that is going to help you when you go up into the hills and you mine for gold. Give your audience back the exact words that they're telling you when they are struggling. So, you're their humble servant. It is not you on the top of the mountain. You are helping lift them up in the way in which they can hear you, and it helps them move forward. Plan on testing a lot more than you know. And I think that this gets lost, because I think what happens is we go, I know what course I should make. And we don't necessarily build stuff with our audience. We think we know, and we go off. I have fallen for this, and I have done this multiple times. I have created something and spent a lot of time on it, thinking that people would want it. Back in the day for Catch My Party, our number one party idea was princess parties, right? That's what people were searching for. That was the most popular. So I spent months with a designer, paying a designer to create a princess party planning guide. And it was fun because when we were in the process of working on it, it was all this possibility and potential. And I thought it was going to make us rich. And I think we got 2 sales. So something was wrong there. This is like me going to mine for gold and not finding gold. But instead, I should have asked my audience, hey, would you be interested in a princess party planning guide? Hey, what kind of guide would you want from me? Before I spent 6 months building this thing, spending all this money, and nobody showed up and bought it. And I was crestfallen. Like I blamed myself. I felt bad about it. And I didn't create any more guides or anything ever again. But I did, though, probably 5 years later, create free printables fast, which sold because I didn't work that hard on them. And I could just kind of churn through them and see, oh, this one sold, but this one didn't sell. So be thinking about that. So please B- work, get embarrassed, and do it. So I want to say, thank you. Follow us on Instagram at Milo Tree. And Elisa, I want to talk to you now about your experience.
Okay. We're talking about the Pinterest ads workshop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I put this together. Jillian made me do it. You did. And I wanted to get it out quickly because of Black Friday. You know, everyone needs to start their ads now. And people have been literally messaging me on Facebook saying, would you please bring your course back or do something about Pinterest ads? And I thought, okay, well, that's a slam dunk, right? People are asking me for it. I know people will buy it. So I created it. I planned it all out and it was beautiful. The slides are gorgeous. I advertised a little bit on Pinterest, which I mean, I didn't have time really to make that work. I advertised on Facebook. Most of those ads went to Instagram. And I got, you want to know how many signups I got? 0. zero signups. And the funny part is that years ago, I had a Pinterest ads course that sold for, I think it was $197. And I sold quite a few of those. This presentation here is the same information and it was $47 and nobody signed up. So I thought, wow, first like, ouch. But also like, what did I do wrong? So I think part of what I did wrong is calling it a workshop.
Mm.
So the next thing I'm doing with it is calling it a mini course because it is pretty short. It's like the slides with everything you need to know, everything you can ignore. There's a demonstration. We walk through setting up a couple of different ad campaigns. And then there's something else. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that was pretty upsetting. And yes, our labels matter to how people respond. I think they just didn't see the value in a workshop because you can get those anywhere. I did think like the live component would be really interesting for people to come in and say, I want to do this ad, let's set it up together. But it just did not resonate the way that I hoped it would. And another factor is a lot of my friends in the business who are asking me to do this, they want me to go into their Facebook groups and do it. So it wasn't like I was getting a lot of help promoting it to other people's audiences and mine, because I was kind of working full-time somewhere else for 4 years is a small audience now. So that was a challenge as well.
Okay. So first of all, how did you deal with the emotional letdown?
It was tough, honestly, but it's been a really tough year anyway. So it was just like another thing on top, you know. I kind of went into that as well as this. I recently set up a Shopify site and I framed it in my mind as an experiment. This is a learning opportunity for me. And so even though I've gotten very few sales in my Shopify store and 0 signups for my workshop, I feel like, all right, I definitely learned something here, and that was the purpose of it. So I think maybe going into it with that kind of expectation saved me a little bit.
Okay. So are you planning? So what is your plan going forward with Pinterest?
With that particular workshop that I worked on, I did decide, okay, I don't really want to promote a workshop. I'm going to record it. I'm going to stick it on my website. And if people find it and sign up, that's great. If I get a bunch of people who sign up, I can always email them later and say, hey, would you like to have a 1-hour live session where we all get together and talk about what we want to run for ads and what targeting we want to use and what ad copy we should use. So it's just a kind of a backwards way, right? Because I tried the workshop and that didn't do what I wanted. So I'm going to just try it a little bit different way. And I think that the change in perception between a workshop and a mini course might be helpful. We'll see.
One recommendation I have is to pare it down, reduce your price. Because how much did you charge?
The workshop was supposed to be $47, and this course I'm going to put out at $29, which is like, really, people used to buy it for $197, but whatever, things change. We'll just see what happens.
But again, I think when you think about a workshop as a lead magnet, as a way to get people into your world where you can then hopefully surprise and delight them, they'll come back. You'll be the, I always say this for those of you here who've been in my coaching groups, I always say, like, you want to be their best friend. You want to be like, if I'm thinking about Pinterest and I need Pinterest help, Elise is my girl. Or if I want to think about French cooking, Anina Bell, you're my girl. Or whatever, your expertise is, you're my girl. So that if I want to do gardening, Haley, you're my girl. Like, that's where you start to build these relationships with our audience, with people where they trust you and they know you're on their side. And by the way, all you need are like a small group of people who love you and will pay you and will join, we'll pay for whatever you're offering, and then we'll join your membership. So it's like thinking about, again, a ladder and getting people you're helping people on their journey while they're climbing up your purchasing ladder. So it's just a whole different way of business building, but it is a way to get off of the treadmill of, I need to just post content on social media. You are posting content now on social media to attract people to you who can then buy from you. So social media is important. Neil, I'm looking at you. Social media is important, but it's top of the funnel. It's no longer just the goal. The goal is not Instagram followers. The goal is, what do you do with those Instagram followers, and how do you move them down and take them off of Instagram over here? And then you start to really develop this intimate relationship with them. So that's, Neil, am I right? What would you say? Okay, Neil is giving me the thumbs up. All right. So please.
Oh, no, 100%. Social media is not your land. You don't own it. It can change overnight. I recently went to a presentation of someone who had like 1 million TikTok followers, and they monetized it because they had one link in their TikTok bio that brought people to their course, right? So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And I love the technology you're building. And I hope this, everyone listening creates their own membership or workshop or whatever it is.
Coaching, service, whatever you can sell to your people. I just want to make that possible so that they are on your team, so they believe in you and you believe in them. And I think as the internet has gotten bigger, it has also gotten smaller, meaning it's that one-on-one relationship. It's that I can look at you people and go, I know you, and I know you, and I know you. And that's real. And by the way, personally, for me, I don't know, that fills me up. I don't know if it fills you guys up, but it definitely fills me up in terms of like my soul. So that's why I'm so happy to see your faces here. So I want to open it up for questions, and I see that there are questions in the chat. which we'll get to. And but first, I just want to say, like, if anybody has like a question before we do the chat questions, does anybody have anything that they want to add or talk about or say here's what I would like to do. How was this for you? Are these new ideas? Are these old ideas? And does this motivate you to move forward? So anybody can just either raise their hand or jump in. Or I'll start calling on people. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Well, then I think what we will do is go to some questions in the chat. So let's go. So Elisa, I might.
Yeah.
punt.
I was answering most of them as we went along, but here's one that I said, well, I really want to get Jill's opinion on this. So the question was, okay, from Taylor. Thoughts on if you think your prices should start off immediately higher for courses training if your niche or your audience is small?
You know what I say? You got to experiment. This is where MiloTree Easy Pay. I don't know. Like I hope your audience will pay a lot. I really do. However, typically, again, if they don't know you yet, they might not be willing to take, to pay this. Because remember, it's a little bit like what's behind door number one. We know what's behind it, right? I know I'm going to give you lots of value, but you don't know that. So you have to get people to then like trust you and kind of take a leap of faith buying from you. So you always have to put yourself in the perspective of the customer, not you. You know you're going to deliver, but they don't know that. So is it easier to set your price lower at the beginning when then they get through the door and then they go, oh my God, this was awesome. I'll buy her $50 course. So again, if there's one piece of advice I can give you guys is always be your customer. And it's so hard because we know what we provide, but they don't. I would say test a low price, test a high price, go make sales pages for both. You can do it in about 10 minutes. In fact, Elisa, we talked about this. When you created your sales page for your pouring painting workshop, how long did it take you?
Oh, it took 5 minutes. And I think part of that was because you and I had talked about it before I went to actually do the thing. But that's kind of what we're doing here, like figuring out as we're talking, apply this to you. Like, what is the thing that you know how to do better than the average person? Like Jillian said, you don't have to be a capital E expert. You just have to know a little bit better, help people to level up a little bit. What is that thing? And then, yeah, it just really does not take long, especially because the page builder guides you through like, here's what needs to go here and here's what goes here. It's pretty fast. And
I want to give you a sense of how we thought about it, because everything that we build, we try to put a lot of intention behind it. We started our page builder. We're like, we need to have a place where you to put a photo of you. And then we thought to ourselves, you know what? We're not doing that. Because all of a sudden that's a roadblock. Now you got to pick a photo, maybe you have to take a photo, whatever. I just wanted this to be the easiest way to set up a sales page. Will it eventually have a field where you could probably put a photo of yourself in? Yes. But I wanted to test this with saying, just go, fill this out. It's good enough. And hopefully you can get sales and see what happens. So we're planning to add some other fields to the sales page, maybe some testimonials, maybe some Q&As, but we're not going to add a lot, maybe an image, and that's it. Because again, every time I put something in front of you that you have to think about and go, oh God, I got to go to Canva now and I got to make an image and what's it going to be? That keeps you from pushing forward. So that's the way we are thinking about our product. We call them at-bats. And I want you to have so many at-bats because chances are, because you know this, it's like dating, you have to kiss a lot of frogs. It's exactly the same way with business. We think we know and we don't know. Okay, so let's see if I can answer some of these questions. Why do I recommend Zoom? Is it the easiest platform? You can use any platform you want. Personally, I think because of the pandemic, we've all learned how to use Zoom, but go for it. Like whatever easy technology, that your audience also knows. So the deal was when we set out to make MiloTree easy payments, we said, hey, all we want to do is get you paid. And we want a place for you to manage your members. And wherever you want to host your workshop or your membership, you go do that. If you want to do everything in a private Facebook group, go do this. But you don't then have to pay for Kajabi, which are these payment platforms, these quote unquote all-in-one platforms. They are expensive. They are hard to use. And they say they're all in one. And when Elisa and I did a bunch of customer interviews, what we discovered was people were still hacking their own solutions on top of them. So we said, let's get rid of all that. Let's pare it all down and let's just make this the easiest way. You want to do it in a Discord server. Go for it. I don't care where you host your memberships. You could do like a newsletter, like a email service. You just send newsletters to people or emails. I don't care how you deliver your content, but all I want to do is get you paid for it, get those emails into your email service provider and give you sales pages and money button links where you can just put the link in and say, go buy this. So that's how we thought about this. So go use a private Facebook, go do it on Facebook or wherever. But people tend to go where people go. They know Facebook, they know Zoom. That's why we started there. So hopefully that answers. Okay.
Question about, okay. And I think this is a great thing for us to work into our messaging too about the recording. So when you record with Zoom, assume we're going to do that, you have the option to either save it to your machine or save it to the cloud. So the easiest thing to do is save it to the cloud, right? But we had one very smart person say that they upload it to a YouTube channel, right? And then they shared that out. So then you've got it to use other places.
So I do recommend this, and you're gonna see this in my checklist. I'm going to download this recording. I'm going to upload it to Zoom, which is free, as an unlisted link, and I'm going to send you the link to the video.
Are you uploading to Zoom or YouTube?
I mean, sorry. YouTube. Okay. Sorry. I download the video. I upload it to YouTube. It's unlisted. So nobody, if you have if you share the link with somebody, they can watch it, but then you have the video. So again, using solutions that are free, that are easy, that people know. So you don't have to have a Vimeo account, or you don't. And this is another thing that somebody, I think, talked about this. So again, like you put your content on Podia or Teachable or whatever, and somebody now has to create an account and they have to have a login. And again, this is where technology is hard. This is where it puts up a barrier between you and your member or customer. And I go, if you can take, some people go, oh my God, I hate Facebook, or my people won't be on Facebook. And I'm like, all right, host it someplace else. But like, there are all these cool solutions out there as we started researching, like, I don't know if people know what Notion is, or Slack or Discord, like go host it somewhere, but you don't have to pay all this money. Because again, you have to start paying day one. I'm saying you don't even know if people will show up or join your membership. So you've got to now work on that, getting members while the clock is ticking and you're paying. I say that seems dumb. I say, go try a bunch of things, see where people will pay, see where they won't, and go make it happen. In the easiest, we talk about friction a lot over here, and we wanted to create something with the least amount of friction. So is it pretty to go, well, you've got your email service and you've got Zoom and you've got MiloTree easy payments. Like, shouldn't it all be in one? In a perfect world, sure. But in the real world, it doesn't work like that. So anybody who has to send themselves, like me, 6 password resets to get back into my whatever account, the struggle. Okay. So let's see. Oh my God. Thank you, Kara. She said, I love it. Real life. You guys are doing great. Okay. Let's see.
So
will Stripe work if based in the UK? I think it will. There are certain countries where it doesn't, but UK, yes, it does work in the UK. Oh, thank you, Elisa.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. So a couple of questions about equipment. So asking about how to do this, if you need to kind of show your face, your hands. I use a Logitech, which hooks onto the top of my monitor and is very flexible. You can put up and down. when I have done a Facebook Live of my painting, so it's going to be my face and the painting, I just tilt it up and down so they can see what they need to see in the moment. I think that would work for you as well.
Yes. Okay. So now it is 1:00. If you guys want to jump off, that's fine, but we're going to stay for as long as you have questions. You will get a recording of this. So if you want to leave, that's fine because you'll hear the rest. But that's I want to be very mindful of your time. Okay. So somebody said, how is this different than a PayPal button? And that's a great question. It is the payment link is very similar to a PayPal button. However, if you are using PayPal now, you've got your emails in PayPal and you've got to now be moving those emails over to your email service provider, and you don't have a dashboard of a place where you can manage your subscribers. Plus, you don't have access to sales pages. So what we did was we took the best of a PayPal button and built stuff around it to support your business. Plus, we personally think Stripe is better than PayPal, but that's just a personal thing. Now, you pay a percentage for Stripe, very similar to PayPal and Stripe are both about 3% of the sale. We charge 5% as a transaction fee. But again, I feel like if you're making money, you're happy to pay me. So, we're in this together. So that's how it works and we are actually cheaper than most other solutions out there, especially ones that do take a transaction fee. So that's how we wanted to price our product. Okay, can the MiloTree set up subscription for monthly memberships? Absolutely. In fact, when we started MiloTree Easy Payments, initially our use case, what we were solving for was memberships. So yes, in your dashboard, you can say, this is a monthly subscription. I think we have yearly subscriptions as well. But then somebody said, well, wait a second, what if I just want to do a one-off thing? And we were like, we hadn't even thought of that. So then we made it so you can have a one-off product, whether it be a workshop, whether it be coaching, whether it be a service you provide, or you want it to have recurring payments. We've got that as well. Plus, let's say a lot of times what people do is they say, my membership is $20 a month, but you can buy an annual subscription for $200. So you get 2 months free. We have the ability to set that up in MiloTree Easy Payments, where you can show both prices, the yearly price and the monthly price. And remember, if you can get people to sign up for your yearly price, that's so worth it because that is money up front. So it's worth having a discounted price as your yearly price when thinking about creating a membership. And I'm going to do another workshop. So here we go on how to set up a membership. So this is like my upsell, but really how to think about a membership, because just like I'm talking about B- work, and this is much easier than you think it is with just 3 teaching concepts and that kind of thing. Guess what? A membership is all about less is more in terms of what you need to provide. It's all about showing up for your people so that they loving on them and really getting invested in their journey and building a community. People come for the content and they stay for the community. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in my 1-hour workshop on setting up a membership is easier than you think, especially if you've got people who connect with you. It's not about your library. To be honest with you, this is one of those truths. Nobody checks out your library unless you're sending people directly to pieces of content in your library. People don't have the time on a random Thursday to be like, hey, I'm going to go check out this membership library. So that's less important than we think. What is really important is building out a warm, supportive community of like-minded people, and you being, and I don't want to say this, I think of you as the camp counselor, the one who's leading everybody in the songs. That's your job. So that's going to be the next workshop. You'll get that in your email. Okay.
There's one I want to get to from Taylor, because I feel like this is a mindset thing we all have to deal with. And the question was something like, how do you deal with feeling responsible? How do you manage feeling responsible for people's success if they come to you for your paid expert advice.
Ooh, okay. So that's interesting. Okay, so you feel well, I would say this is a time to work on boundaries, which is, again, I can lead you. Like, I hope this inspires all of you, but I can't sit with you and make sure that you set up a workshop. If you have questions, I want you to reach out to me. But at the end of the day, there has to be this split between where I end and you begin. So this is something to like, I want to inspire you, but ultimately you're responsible for you. And you might then go, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to pay for her next workshop. You know, that's a way to go, this didn't work for me. And people will leave your membership, or people won't, not everybody's going to be satisfied with what you offer. And that's why, Elisa, when nobody bought your thing, I'm like, how did you deal with that? Because it's really painful. When nobody bought my princess party planning guide that I honestly spent 6 months and maybe even close to like $600 on, I was like crestfallen. I'm the party person. I have this huge party site and nobody cared. And it made me doubt myself and feel weird. So these are all of so in fact, I think I might do a workshop on like the emotional pieces that go into building businesses, because it is an emotional journey. And it is about boundaries. Okay. Okay. Do I have to create a money button before I can build the sales page? Yes, because when you build your sales page, remember, you can build as many as you want for whatever product you set up, but we automatically are pulling in your buy button, that product detail. So yes, you'll go through those 3 steps, connect your Stripe account, connect your email service provider, and then create your product. And then on that page that shows up, your dashboard page, you will create your sales page connected to that product and that price or different prices. Okay. Do you think the paid webinar would be effective for my business as a crochet designer? I'm planning to start a subscription service teaching specific. Absolutely. Okay, Courtney, of course. So she's a crochet designer. She wants a subscription service. Absolutely. So here's an example of, again, what we're trying to help you do. Like, let's say you've got crochet patterns. Well, in your community of members, let's say, every month you email crochet patterns, and then you show up, say, live on Zoom to crochet together or for you to teach a technique. Again, I want you to use pieces of technology you already know and your audience already knows, things like email. So or you put it in a Google Doc and you share the Google Doc. So those are the ways that you can definitely build this out. Now, the question is, do you have an audience of people who want to learn from you? And in fact, this is, again, where social media comes in. It's about, attracting the people to you through posts on social media so that you can then take those people and go, hey, how about joining my membership or buying my crochet patterns or those kinds of things. Okay, so let's see. Okay, 5 sales pages for 5 different webinars, or the same. Either you can create a variety of different webinars. You can create 5 sales pages for 1 webinar. That's the thing. Make a product. You can put a price on it. You can put multiple prices on it. And then you can build out a variety of sales pages to test. That's really the beauty of it. So there's no limit. Does Stripe take commit? Yes, Stripe takes like about a 3% commission. How much does it cost per payment? Oh, and one thing is, Stripe just automatically, I think every day, deposits money into your checking account. It's beautiful. Let's see. Fortunately, I didn't get an email except the receipt. Ooh, sorry, Kathleen. Kathleen did not get my emails for, I guess, the workshop. And again, this is because I was in serious battle with ActiveCampaign yesterday. It was a bloody war, and I think they won. And again, this is the thing. On our end, you would think, I just want you to know that, like, people think like over here, like we just get technology. And it's true for David, he can solve anything. But like, I can't tell you how many times I have to go, hey, David, can you fix this for me? Hey, David, it's not working. So like I made him stay. He's right there just because I'm like, what if I have a major technological problem here? I want to look professional. So just know. So I'm sorry about that, Kathleen. Okay. You're on MailerLite. What template do you use for the email? I just use their regular emails on MailerLite, and I also use their sales pages on MailerLite sometimes for things. How do you manage? Hold on, the amount of people.
We had a question about the logistics of it. And I think that because normally when you use like a Teachable or Thinkific, everything it's supposedly all in one, right? It all lives in there. The question was about hosting your content and specifically about hosting it on Google Drive. Like, how would you do that? Can you actually charge for access to that?
Wait, I'm sorry, Elisa, say that again. I was really sorry. That was me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So the question was about hosting the content that you're charging for. And specifically, I mentioned a couple of things like Google Drive or a private Facebook group or a private Instagram account, like whatever works for you, unlisted YouTube videos. You can do whatever you want. And the question was, you can monitor, like you can charge for access to a Google Drive. Yeah, absolutely. You can. You just, whatever email comes through is going to be added to your list in your email provider. You just share that folder with that email address.
Absolutely. There are a lot of cool solutions. One thing that I'm into right now is Notion, where you can be storing content. Check out Notion. It's like really pretty and it's kind of becoming a bigger thing. You can do it in a Slack channel. There are a whole host of ways for exactly Google Docs and just share a link or share the folder in email, you know, like you've got a link. So what you do is you've got your Google Drive and your Google folder and you put a link to it in your email and you send it to your people. Like another, as you said, a Facebook group, you know, you can add all your content to your Facebook group. So the reason, you know, it's funny, it's like, if ultimately these solutions aren't like you're making so much money, and I hope this is the case, you know what? Don't use MyLoTree Easy Payments. Go use Kajabi because you can hire people to set up your Kajabi and manage your Kajabi. Like I wish that for you, but chances are it's you. It's you against the world. And that can be like yesterday, as I told you, you know, I was like, it was like a bad scene over here with me and my mailer and my active campaign. It was not MailerLite, it was active campaign. So it's like, if it's just you, you know, I share this, which is, it's kind of like the difference between how the world should be and how the world is. How the world should be is technology should just work beautifully and everything should be seamless. And your all-in-one solution should be an all-in-one solution. But we all know that's not true. I mean, the world isn't a utopia. And it's the same thing on the internet. Therefore, I want to create a solution that is so simple for you, where you, if you're one day you're fighting with Active Campaign, at least, you know, MyLoTree Easy Payments is working for you because you're going to have enough battles every day. And that's really how I think about it. So looking for that one perfect solution, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not out there. It's really not. So I hope that answers that. Okay. Where does the recorded session land if you're not using Facebook?
Okay. You already covered this
Okay.
one because we talked about how to save and share.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
So there's I love the questions in here about like, will my idea for a workshop work? So if you have one that's kind of percolating, can you please share it? Love to get some feedback. And I saw this already. Courtney, who it looks like she had to jump off, asked a question about her idea, which was a crochet, teaching specific crochet techniques. And she got some great feedback. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. So what else are people thinking about?
Yeah. And it's so
here's one.
Okay. Okay.
Carrie was thinking about doing a webinar on how to stay healthy during the holidays.
I love that. I love that. Now, here's what I would say, which is you could do something like this. In the month, like the month of December, you're going to meet 4 times, right?
Mhm.
This is just off the top of my head, for people to talk about and connect and feel like somebody's holding them accountable and that they can all kind of talk about where they're struggling or where they're doing well. And in Milo Tree Easy Payments, you can just make that a one-time payment. So, in this program, they're going to get 4 Zoom calls, and you're going to connect to them via email, and you're going to price it at whatever, $50, $100, $200, and that's what it's going to be. And so it doesn't have to be like an ongoing membership, but it doesn't also have to be a one-time workshop. Create something that meets 4 times or whatever, so that people can support each other during the month of December. And then you can figure it out. Like, maybe people want to continue into January. Maybe it turns into a membership. I want to give you guys the flexibility to go, oh, I'm going to like try this and see what happens. And it's like, what is it? No skin off my nose, something like that. Is that right? You know what I mean? Like, I can just kind of test it and be flexible, and put it out there. So that would be like a great way to do it. You could do it one time, you could do it multiple times, and you can test pricing.
Yes. Okay. We have lots coming in. Thank you guys
Good.
much. Okay. Here's one that's an interesting challenge. And Valentina and Anita Bell asked about doing a baguette class. And I said, well, you like bread? Yes. And here's the challenge, right? She has a very simple recipe, which sounds great to me. But it takes 2 hours start to finish. So how would you suggest doing that? Because you're not going to hang out for 2 hours, right?
Ooh, that's a cool thing. Well, you could do something where everybody comes back in 2 hours, or you come back the next day, or you show it off, like, this is what I love. I don't know exactly, like, will people show up again? Maybe do it, how long does the baguette last? Like, look good.
It looks good for a few days afterwards. It's never lasted that long in my house, but the entire process from start to finish is 2 hours. And it works if I'm cooking something else that's rather complicated. I've done it in a cooking class that's 2 hours long, but it's a long cooking class. I'd love to be able to do it like really short and sweet in an hour, and set them up with baguettes, let them proof, and then come back and roll them out.
You know what you could do? I mean, just off the top of my head, is you could create an Instagram account or something, and then show off, like, people send you their photos and you put them all in the Instagram, or like, Haley, you have these are people that I know. Haley, you do this with your group of gardeners, where people share photos of what they're planting. Facebook group, totally.
That's what I like. If I was attending that, that's what I would want to do. Like, show up for the part that I really need to learn, and then be done, but like brag about my beautiful baguette.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then people, like, that's the thing. We want to support each other, especially if we're interested in the same things. Like, Haley, in your experience, where people are planting plants in their garden. Now, chances are, like, if I were to plant something in my garden, my neighbors are not going to come over and be like, Jillian, oh my God, I saw you planted something. Or my daughter's not going to notice. But if it's a group of people who are interested in planting and they're planting stuff, you have this vested interest and happiness. So what's it like?
Absolutely.
I don't want to speak for you. What's it like for you?
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely just a natural desire to want to share your hard work, right? Because a lot of us put a lot of sweat and effort into our gardens, and having that positive feedback from other people that get it, that are native plant gardeners like yourself, that's huge. And I think a lot of people are also open to getting advice from others too. So, if they're having something in their garden, or they don't know what to plant in a certain area, I see a lot of people asking for advice on stuff. And so yeah, both I think are really great.
Yeah. So Anita Bell, you've got this community of French bakers. And then, it's like, the thing is, if you can get people to take action, like, they're yours. And I don't mean that in like a tricky way. I mean that those are your people.
So there are some great suggestions in the chat too. One about, what about having some of the process prepped ahead of time? It made me think of some of those like morning shows where they actually show the making of it, and then they pull it out of the oven like magic. That could work. I love that. And then do a workshop and the next day share pictures on a Facebook page, have a Q&A. Absolutely.
Okay, wait, I just want to say, so Taylor's saying, I teach people how to start their small event planning party businesses challenge, lots of information that needs to be covered. Perfect. Start with something small. Start with
Yes.
what is your party planning business about? Are you going to be doing kids parties? Are you doing weddings? And how to know, like maybe that's the whole topic, how to decide what kind of parties you want to, people you want to serve. And then if that goes well, great. Now, let's say everybody who shows up says, I want to plan baby showers. Awesome. Next workshop is all about planning baby showers. But let's say some people want baby showers and some people want kids parties or weddings. Great. Now you've got 3 ideas for workshops that you can lead. Go small. Go small. That's my recommendation. Okay.
We
So
have a lot more ideas here, probably more than we can cover. Maybe Jillian will get
here's
back to you
here's what I
personally,
would
but
here's what I would say. I will say, please, let's go. I'm gonna put this back up if I can figure it out. Okay, share my screen. You're gonna get an email from me. Where's my email address? Okay, here's my email address, Jillian@milotree.com. I would, no joke, love to hear from you. So please, I would love, remember, here is my special bonus. Send me your workshop idea or multiple ideas, but send me then your 3 teaching concepts and what the one win is. And I promise you, I will give you my honest feedback. I will probably most of my feedback is going to go get smaller and think about it from your customer's point of view, not your point of view. You know what's on the inside, but think about that that door. And so you want to be as transparent as possible that when you have this offer and they go, oh my God, I want this offer. Not, well, the offer kind of makes sense to me, but I'm going to risk it. People don't want risk. So think about it from your audience's point of view and get small and recognize this is just to get people on the first rung of your ladder. And if you can deliver, they will continue to climb up with you. And if they don't, they're not your people. So that's what I want to say. Okay.
can we take one more question? I
Absolutely.
think this is foundational, I think.
Yeah.
Kathleen wants to know, where would you advertise a workshop or mini course if you have a brand new website and no community yet?
That is a good question. Neil, can I throw that to you? Oh, wait,
Unmute.
will you unmute? Okay.
Sorry, I was multitasking. Yeah,
okay.
I wanted to actually share that before I knew about Easy Payments, I actually launched my first membership in April this year. And Easy Payments did not exist. So I had to create my own sales page, which still looks like crap. I did do a new subscription with Zapier to automate everything with my email. And I had to use a service where I have to pay a monthly fee, which I wouldn't have to use Easy Payments. So from personal experience, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the product.
Oh, thank you.
And I also want to say that the membership didn't make me the $1 million I wanted it to, but it became something else. And it's given me more ideas. So, 90% of businesses fail, but you just got to get out there and start. And I think once people start, whatever it is, they'll find success as you suggested. So I'm sorry, Julie, can you repeat your question again?
Okay, wait, I have 2. First, Neil, will you come back on my podcast and will you just share who you are and what you do?
Oh, sure. So I am a digital social media marketing author, coach, consultant. And like a lot of you, or maybe different, my product is really B2B consulting, but I knew that because I have a large platform, I had to create something digital, a digital product, digital service. And like a lot of you, a course is a lot, right? So I started the membership. Now I remember the question. When I started the membership, I put it on a site called Circle. So circle.so, any of you familiar with Pat Flynn, he was pushing it and that's where he had it. I actually found that Circle was way too much. So because people were paying me monthly, I decided to turn off the Circle and we just do Zoom calls. In fact, our community is a LinkedIn group, which isn't even a private, because it turned out to be more of a mastermind, because the people that joined were also other like marketing professors, other authors, and they were at a high enough level where it's like, this is a legit digital marketing mastermind. And once I saw that it was more of that and less of the community, which is fine, having the website didn't matter. It's the Zoom calls. It's the email that goes out once a month with the link to the Zoom calls. That's the value. And if it sparks, even if they don't make every call, if they make one of the weekly calls in a month, they're going to get a lot of value for that small price that they pay. So once you're with Easy Payment and once the money is going through Stripe, it doesn't matter where you take people, right? What matters is that you communicate with them. If you want to build a community, they need to be able to communicate with each other. It could be a LinkedIn group. It could be a Facebook group. It could be anywhere you want. It could be Notion. It could be Discord. So you need to sort of remove like what you're going to deliver from the back end, because Easy Payment really does handle all the back end for you. You don't want it to handle the front end. That perfect solution, like you said, does not exist, and it shouldn't exist. It'll be very inflexible, like a Kajabi, right? So yeah, once you think of them separately, you can do it any way you want. It's all about your relationship with your people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Now, here is what Kathleen wants to know is if she doesn't have a community yet, how would you get the word out? Would you do paid ads? Where would you put your content to attract your perfect people?
Yeah, you got to build community. That's what social media is for. It's about getting out there, publishing content, engaging with other people, tapping people virtually on the shoulder. That's social media allows you to do that. A decade ago, you couldn't do that. So I think before paid, it's all about know, like, and trust, right? And in order for that to happen, it's a two-way street. You got to get out there and publish content. Facebook groups are a way to shortcut that. And I would argue that, and Alyssa, I know tomorrow we're going to talk about influencer marketing. That's another way to shortcut it. If you can befriend people that are really influential in the communities that you want to tap into. But, I posted my first Facebook reel last night. I got, it's been about 12. I already have 1,500 views, right?
Wow.
On Facebook. So this is just something I did for fun with my daughter, who first time I've ever posted in social media with her. But I just want to say there's if you want to get visibility with short form video, and I know with Bloggers Genius, you talked to someone who did really well with YouTube with Google Web Stories.
Web Stories.
Yeah. So I recommend just Reels, TikTok, but have it targeted towards what you want to talk about. That's going to give you your biggest bang for your buck and get really big visibility. And if you do it strategically, that to me is the shortcut to do it. And if you did that like every day over 90 days, I think you're going to get some massive visibility.
I love that. Okay, Neil, will you come back? I'm going to reach out to you. Will you come back on my podcast?
Oh, absolutely. And I want you back on mine as well. I was going to reach out to you as well. I've been a big fan of, I've been like religiously listening to all the Blogger Genius episodes.
Oh,
so
terrific.
yeah, big fan.
Awesome. So, okay. So my friends, please email me. I'd love to hear from you. I want to empower you to go try this and try it multiple times. And if you are having a bad day and you feel like, oh my God, everything I'm trying isn't working, reach out to me, because I've been there and Elise has been there, and that's the norm. That's the norm. The norm is not striking it rich or finding gold on your first trip out into the hills. It is about trying and trying again and picking yourself up and working it and learning. So that's what it's all about. So I want to thank everybody for coming. You are going to get a bunch of goodies from me later today. And I don't know. I love showing up with you guys. And be looking for my thank you, Charlene. Be looking for my next workshop, because this is fun. Awesome. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.